Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant, and I felt like starting on a little side project because I finished Wind Waker and I'm not quite ready to start Mother 3 yet, so let's do a little bit of Mario Golf and jump straight into it rather than spend the entire first episode explaining it because nobody wants to sit around for that. So this side project, I don't know how I'm going to break it up yet, but I'm going to be showing off all 6 of the courses in this game, Mario Golf for the Nintendo 64. And for those of you that have never played golf before, it's in fact a very simple game, although it's extremely precise and can be tediously difficult, especially in real life. What you have to do is go through 18 holes and try to get the golf ball in the hole at the end, which is right there, in as few strokes as possible. Now you do this by hitting the ball as hard as you can to try to get it as close to the hole as possible. This is called the drive, and it's usually the first shot that you take out of the tee box. And you see we're about 145 yards away, and don't mind the minor graphical glitches because the emulators really don't like this game, and considering the old graphics driver I tried to use for this game, it was terrible. So this is actually playable, and I'm going to stick with it as best as I can. And rather than explain everything all at once, we'll just jump right into the game, and as I come across stuff, I'll start explaining it. So this is the first hole, and if we do everything right, we can get 1 stroke under par for the first hole, but of course we missed. So I have the opportunity to explain what par means. Par, you can see, is right underneath the flag. The hole says par 4. And that means the average player should finish this hole in 4 strokes. Par is, it's another way to say average. So we got that in 4 strokes, and we are now even. We have plus minus 0, that's relative to the course's par. This is a par 3, and we should be able to reach the green from the tee box here. And we do. And that's a pretty good shot. We're right next to the hole. Now, once we're on the green, instead of taking a shot out of the air, we use our putter to putt along the ground here. And we take a look at the slope, which you can see by the lines going across the grid line here, the screen. And if we hit it just right, we should be able to get the ball in the hole, and I'm doing terribly, aren't I? Once again, don't mind the graphical glitches. This game is extremely hard. It doesn't... Camelot games, for some reason, the emulators don't like. But it's more playable than it was before. So here's the third hole. What you can also do is a power shot here, which I'm doing for no real reason. And if you line it up just right for power and accuracy, you don't lose your power shot. You only have 6 of them, and if you don't get a perfect shot when you use it, you don't get to keep the power shot. At the bottom of the screen, when you're taking a shot, you have to time things properly. For the first time you go to the left, that's how much power you're going to hit the ball with. And when you come back to the right, that's how accurate you're going to be. If you overshoot it, it'll go off to the left, and if you do it too early, it'll go back to the right. See, I stopped just a little bit early for both of them, which means I didn't get as much power as I wanted, and I went a little bit further to the right than I wanted.
Nice on.
And now we try another short putt, a birdie putt. Maybe we can get 1 under par this time. You think? Let's try it. Too hard, just right, right angle, too hard. I am cracking under the pressure right now, guys. This is the first course. This is a very easy course. I should not be getting par. So that's 3 holes. I didn't explain leaderboard because we're doing tournament mode, and you can see how everybody else is doing. Don't worry, they'll come back to around par on the back 9 of this course. So this is a par 5, and we shouldn't be able to reach the hole all the way over there in 2 strokes, but I'm going to try my darndest to do that. And I missed the timing. For some reason, I don't do very well with the timing in this game, and it's been a while since I played it on the console. Maybe that's the reason why I don't have the timing down. Maybe there's a little lag in the controls, I'm not sure. But you can see this is going to be a tricky one to make up there, and I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. If you look in the bottom right and you see the box of grass with the golf ball on it, 94, 98 is the percentage of power that we would get if we took this shot. And if I go up to the 1 wood, it's only up to 87%, so there's no way that's going to make it up there, and I'm going to try a shorter shot. It's probably not going to go that far either. Let me go a little further to the right just to be safe. And we take the shot. Now this is the first course, and usually the wind and the weather won't be so bad. We're in the rough, but we're so close to the hole, I think we should be able to make it up there. Now, you can see, although the grid lines are right up there, you can see that our streamline is going off to the left. You want to pay more attention to the streamline than to the grid, so try to line that up with the green. And since I'm in the rough, I'm going to try hitting it a little bit harder. Plus, the green is up a couple of yards. So that's a pretty well-placed shot, and maybe we'll get our first birdie of the episode. What do you think, guys? Can I do it? I think I can do it. That should definitely be in there. And that's our first birdie. And we are now 1 under par for the course. And we moved up in the rankings. So what else is there to explain? I'm not a very avid fan of golf. In fact, I can't stand watching it because I think it's the most boring thing in the world. And maybe I'm a little hypocritical for even doing this because I'm not a big fan of golf, but I find the game to be pretty fun. I believe it was my dad who bought this game because he wanted to play something with me as well, and he thought it would be interesting. And we had a lot of fun playing this together, I think, along with my little brother. I forget which one of us was better. We were usually pretty much equal in skill at this. Nice on. And now since we're more than 30 feet away, we have to try a medium putt, a middle putt, because there's no way we'd be able to make it with a short putt that only goes to 30. And this is going to be a tough one to judge. Probably in between those two, but I don't have the power to do it. I think I'd overshoot it, so let's try that. That's probably too much. Make it? Yeah, I knew it was just in between the two, but the keyboard controls don't allow me to get very precise shots. Although most of the time when I miss a shot, it's because I either mess up the timing or I misjudge it, but that time it was just from the controls. No biggie, though. There's another option in this game called Get Character, where you can play against a computer character to unlock them. And they are pretty bad in this. When I say bad, I mean they're very good at this game to the point where it's almost impossible to beat them sometimes, and I get very frustrated in that. So let's see. This is going to be a really tough one to judge. Playing with the camera to see what the lie is here. Also, because it's raining, you have to hit it a little bit harder than you would normally hit it. And I didn't want to overshoot it, so I'm okay with taking that one. That wasn't a very easy putt. Stop rolling, please. Stop rolling. Stop rolling. There we go. This... a little bit harder than I think I should, and in it goes. So we're still 1 under. Explaining a little bit more about the clubs, you have a bunch of different clubs. The woods are your drivers, those are the ones you use to get distance. The irons are the ones that, they're like the in-betweens, and then you have the wedges, which go way up, but only for a short amount of distance. And the reason why you use different clubs is that in golf, you want to try to mimic your shot every time you take one, but you don't always want to get the same amount of distance, because sometimes if you're close to the hole, you don't want to hit it as far as you can. So you use a club with a different, like a different shape or a different material, and it will not go as far, it'll arc up higher. So even though you hit the ball with the same power, the trajectory will change, and that allows you to make more consistent shots. And this one looks pretty easy too, but I don't want to botch this up either. Go in the hole, please. Thank you. And I didn't get a birdie on that hole yet, I'm surprised. So now we're 2 under par, and we're only 5th place. So hole 8 is also a par 5. I don't think I'd be able to reach the hole even if I took 2 power shots, so I'm just gonna be content with my normal shot. And see how far that goes. As far as picking characters in this game, I like picking the characters that have straight shots because it's difficult to judge where the ball is going to go otherwise. Other characters can hit the ball a little bit to the left or to the right, and in the middle of their trajectory the ball will curve back. And because the streamlines don't go all the way to where the ball will land, you can't really tell where the ball is going to go in the air, which is why I like picking the straight shot guys like Yoshi. The only problem with doing that is that they don't go as far as the other guys who have draws and fades. So I'm going to try to take a shorter shot here. And see how close we can get with that one. Looks pretty good too.
Nice on.
So yeah, Yoshi's drive is about 230 yards. I think the furthest one I've unlocked is Mario, and he has about 280, I think, actually, but he has a pretty strong draw, which is off to the right, I believe, and fade is to the left. It could be the other way around. I'm not too sure. But I don't like using those characters because I can't really tell where their ball's going to go. So I've got a pretty strong wind to the left here. You have to adjust for the direction of the wind, because the streamlines only show you where the ball would go if, in a perfect world, and if you hit a perfect shot, which is almost never the case, so you have to adjust for your own self whether or not you'd be able to make that shot. And that'll become more relevant when we get to the more difficult courses, because sometimes the fairway won't be as wide, and if you miss and don't get a perfect shot or don't align it up precisely, then there's no way you'd be able to get it in. But for now, I think we're okay. So now, yeah, I think this is another one of those in-between shots I can't quite make. Let's see how far this goes. I actually could have made it if I went a little bit further to the right. Misjudged it. So let's just tap in for par here. And we finished the front 9. So now after 9 holes, we're in 3rd place and we have the half turn.